Well, hello there, my fine gardening friends. How the devil are you? Well, welcome to a bit of a damp and dreary day here in still beautiful Nova Scotia. But the weather hasn't dampened my enthusiasm for getting out in the garden and doing, a bit of work. Because as you can see behind me and around me, the garden is looking in absolute early season splendour. Beautiful. All the lupins are up there, even though it's been chucking it down all day, statuesque, all pointing up to the sky. Beautiful flowers, the pinks and the purples, the poppies, the oriental poppies, even though they've had a bit of a battering from the rain, are still providing that pop of colour, and the irises and the Baptisia australis. You can only see a small one there behind me. But that's my first year growing that, and that's provided me with a bit of excitement. And all the other, the Aquilegia, the Geums, etc., all looking absolutely beautiful in this early summer. What was it, mid-June, sort of mid-June day. Like I said, been chucking it down with rain, but the flowers have not minded it, and I don't mind it either, because it gives the garden a good drink. Now, I'm doing a bit of a different video today. I'm the head of project management of my company, and I often do leadership training with my team of project managers, and we often sit down and watch a sort of different types of business videos to sort of help our leadership and all that sort of managementy stuff. And I was watching a video the other day, or we were watching a video the other day, and it was on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And many of you, that have had anything to do with management and any sort of management training, will have had Maslow's hierarchy of needs shoved down their throat a million times. But I was sitting there watching it the other day, and I was thinking, hang on, there's a lot of that, to do with self-actualization and safety needs and all these different things that I can put towards in the sort of garden. Gardening helps me in all of those different things, is what I'm trying to say. So I thought I'd do a bit of a video on how gardening helps me meet all my real sort of hierarchy of needs in all the different facets that gardening gives me. So here we go. I thought I would go through the 5 or 6 hierarchy of needs and show you how gardening helps you meet them. So in a world that often feels fast-paced and disconnected, finding activities that nourish our physical, emotional and psychological well-being is crucial. And gardening has become a sanctuary to me, especially, and I've done a few videos on this before. Especially, gardening helped me through my throat cancer, and when it was really difficult dealing with the mental things that go through the things that go through your mind when you've got something serious like that going on. Gardening was that sanctuary for me. And it's a space where it allows me to sort of reconnect with nature. So I thought in this video that I would explore how, and sort of show you how, gardening has become a transformative and fulfilling experience that helps me meet my hierarchy of needs. So without further ado, number 1, physiological needs. At the base of Maslow's triangle are physiological needs such as food, shelter and water. By engaging in gardening, I can grow nurture plants, and which will eventually turn into my own organic produce, whether that's the garlic behind me or these beautiful onions on the side. I've got some broccoli at the back there, raspberries growing, strawberries just about to come. Just gone through the asparagus season. Mwah, absolutely beautiful. And all different things, whether it be herbs or fruit and veg. And by growing my own fruit and vegetables, I not only meet my physiological needs, but I also gain a bit of self-satisfaction and a sort of and a connection with earth. So number one, physiological needs. Number two on Maslow's hierarchy of needs are safety needs. Now, gardening provides a sense of safety and insecurity in multiple different ways. Firstly, tending to a garden helps create a safe and serene environment, offering a bit of a respite from the chaos of everyday life, whether it be outside, you know, just walking through the beautiful lupins, admiring the different poppies, or safety and security of this hedge which I've grown and prevents people seeing into my garden and provides a bit of a barrier, even to things like deer and stuff like that are not going to come into my garden and eat my plants. Secondly, growing my own vegetables allows me to have some sort of control over the safety and the quality of what I consume, whether it be the peppers that are going to grow on this beautiful second year, managed to hold this over the winter, second year pepper tree, or this basil here that has germinated, and the second lot of basil that I'm about to sow here for a bit of succession planting. But whether it be the peppers, the basil, or the tomatoes that are just starting to flower there, keeping that sort of control over that safety and the you know, the quality, so that there's no chemicals in there, gives me that sense of safety, you know, in a world where we're not always a bit that sure about the quality and the safety of our food, especially some of that giant stuff that you see in the supermarkets nowadays. So we've spoken about our first couple of levels of the hierarchy of needs, those security, safety needs, the things that sort of we have to do first to get ourselves nice and safe and secure and well fed, so we can start moving on to the sort of more mental needs in that satisfy us. And number three is belonging and love needs. Now, as humans, we're social creatures, aren't we? And a connection, a sense of belonging is essential really for our well-being, and gardening can help you in that, whether it be in, you know, joining a gardening club and you're talking about all the things you love to do in gardening, and the same with the social media sort of groups that we have now on Facebook, all the different gardening groups, or on Instagram showing off your best veg or your most beautiful flower. Myself, I've spoken to quite a few different gardening clubs about my orchard, and I love my orchard, whether it again be the beautiful lupins at this time of year, or the apple blossom earlier in the year, those first tulips and daffodils that come up, or the different steps that I've made, or and my rather wonky looking love seat over there. All of those different things, I love talking about it, and the belonging and safety needs, the belonging and love needs are definitely met with me talking about the gardening, these different gardening things to gardening clubs, and showing off photographs of the various different stages of what I've created. So number three, belonging and love needs, definitely met by gardening. So we're up in the top half of Maslow's hierarchy of needs now, and number four is self-esteem. So gardening provides a unique avenue for self-esteem and self-confidence. If you look behind me, 99% of the plants that are growing there, I grew from seed or cuttings or division, etc. I've got, you know, before they grew, there was nothing there. So I've got this sort of, you know, pride and self-esteem in being able to grow something so beautiful. And if you look here at the moment, my special self-esteem and pride is this Baptisia australis, or false indigo, and that took me quite a bit of malarkey, I shall call it. It's a technical term, malarkey, to actually get it to germinate. And that's 3 years getting to this point. And there's one just round the corner there that's in more sort of mature, in flowering, and I absolutely love it. And I love that it took me, you know, all that effort to grow something, and that's going to come back every year now. And you know, that's given me some sort of self-esteem and self-confidence. And for people that don't have a lot of self-esteem and confidence, gardening, even the sort of the smallest thing like growing a lettuce, which is quite easy, but when you're first gardening that first lettuce and then tasting that first lettuce and knowing that you grew that plant and there's no chemicals on it, massive self-esteem and self-confidence. So again, gardening, making those hierarchy of needs, ticking them off. So we've reached the top of the pyramid. Number 1, self-actualization. So self-actualization involves the pursuit of personal growth, realizing one's potential and searching for the sort of meaning in one's life. And gardening can provide all of those things. It can provide an incredible platform for self-expression, creativity and exploration. For me, gardening has allowed me to sort of with my self-expression to create my YouTube channel. Whether it's any good or not, I don't know, but I'm expressing my sort of and exploring gardening through YouTube and hopefully passing on different tips, different ideas, just my sort of beliefs in gardening to the sort of wider public, and YouTube's allowed me to do that. I'm standing in front of my greenhouse that I decided to build after building my first greenhouse down the bottom there. But you know, that exploration of, right, I've built one greenhouse, I'm going to build another one now, and sort of exploring the different ways to build it, researching it, understanding it, creating it, and all the things now inside the greenhouse that I can do, and being able to create and grow all the different plants that I can now, gives me that sense of self-actualization, and it's just an amazing thing, and I can't thank Mother Nature and gardening more for it than I do now. And I can thank YouTube for giving me the platform itself to enable me to self-actualize, as we can say in the technical term there. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just great, isn't it, gardening? And we love to do it. So in summing up, gardening's more than just a hobby. It's become a vital tool in meeting my hierarchy of needs, whether it be growing my fruit and veg to sort of help me with those basic safety needs and security needs, or that sense of belonging I get from, you know, talking with other like-minded people about gardening and the things we love. The self-esteem from creating a new garden or my greenhouses, or even that little fire pit area down there. You know, that's all part of the garden, and that's all. I thought, wow, I've created that, given me that little bit of self-esteem and the self-confidence to grow something more or build something better every single time, all through gardening. And then finally that sort of self-actualization at the top there, you know, the culmination of all those security needs, the building things, problem solving in when I've got problems, when something hasn't grown in the right place, or well in the place that you wanted it to, and then finding a better place and getting it to grow. Or, you know, when I was building my greenhouse, right, a bit of a problem there, you know, when you're building with pallets, there's a few different problems that you've got to overcome there. So all of those things, that culmination into that top of the pyramid, gardening has helped me meet all of those different Maslow's hierarchy of needs, those different levels. And there you go. I give you, gardening has met my hierarchy of needs. And all I've got to say, other than I can't believe how beautiful everything is looking, is jobs are good 'un. Let me know your thoughts on how gardening has helped your hierarchy of needs?